but he decided to open the door, walk in there, pull his pants and underwear all the way down to his ankle, and then sit on the floor.
Is he taking a shit in your closet?
So we think that that might have been his original plan. So,
Mike from the Two Gaming Dudes here, doing our new session. The doctor is in. I'm going to be giving life advice and coaching, in this case, to a young man. We'll call him Brian, who has a problem. Brian, please start at the beginning.
So, a while back, I had two new coworkers come in from a different store, and the first thing I noticed was they both had very nice asses, and that was really all there was to them at that time. And, you know, gradually I became better friends with them and whatnot, and it was only a little bit, probably about, let's say, maybe a month ago. I got a little closer with one of them. Let's call them Melissa. Let's call them Melissa. And see, I have had no intentions of really like going anywhere with her because, you know, I was just not feeling it.
Okay, well, there's your first mistake. We'll come back to that later.
Okay. So,
She was a hot chick, yes?
yes.
Okay. See, there's no reason to not want to go there, but go on.
Oh, I definitely wanted to go there, but I didn't want anything that might entail afterwards.
Young kids, they don't. Go on.
So, eventually the opportunity came up. You know, I started texting her a little bit more, maybe like sending her memes every now and then, sending her the TikToks. And eventually it came down to us talking about getting together, maybe drinking a little bit.
Excellent.
So,
Lower your inhibitions a little bit. Everyone feels loose and friendly. Very good. So far, so good.
Exactly,
I still don't see the problem.
see, at this point, I was really just looking like to have another drinking buddy, but obviously, I feel like the ass was a very big factor in there. So, I was at work with her, and we talked about it, and I was like, you know, hey, so me and my buddy, let's call him Brendan. Let's call him Brendan. So I decided to throw him into my plan, even though I had not told him about it before. I just really was hoping that it would work.
Another rooster in the hen house?
Yes, but again, I really wasn't thinking that at this point in time it would go where it did. So, I text him real quick and I go, listen, I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to buy 2 cases of Trulies and go and clean my entire apartment. Then he said, okay, I'm on it.
Truly gay.
And then, yeah, and Trulies are terrible. Trulies are terrible, but it was a good option. You know, chicks love Trulies for some reason. She comes over and we play a little bit of beer pong, and Brendan decided he would be the perfect wingman and get absolutely shit-faced. So this is where it takes a couple of turns. So we're playing Mario Party or whatever. Me and her are doing a little bit of flirty, whatever, you know, kind of feeling each other up just a little bit here and there, while Brendan is getting absolutely fucking wasted. And then it gets to the point where keep in mind, I have a couch in my room, and he gets to the point where he's like, okay, guys, I'm tapping out. I'm going to pass out on this couch.
The couch is in your bedroom.
Yes.
So you're going to have to give it to her in the living room.
You would think. But
Not just me.
Unfortunately, I don't have that much decency, and I would hope that he would do the same thing if the opportunity was given. So.
Was that before or after he was in the closet?
That was before. So, we'll get there.
So it's all 3 of you in the bedroom.
Yes.
And he's passed out drunk.
He's passed out drunk on the couch. Me and her are just chilling in the bed, you know. I throw something on the TV. We're just sitting there, like laying next to each other, laughing or whatever. And this is when Brendan decides to wake up, even though he's not actually awake. He's completely blackout and drunk, but he gets off of the couch and stumbles over to my closet, which I can assure you he has never opened that closet a day in my life. So I don't know why he had a fixation on it, but he decided to open the door, walk in there, pull his pants and underwear all the way down to his ankle, and then sit on the floor.
Is he taking a shit in your closet?
So we think that that might have been his original plan, whatever the fuck was going on in his head. But regardless, he was there. He was naked. He was sitting on my closet floor. And
Possibly squeezing out a deuce.
keep in mind, Melissa had never met him before. So this was her first impression of him. Honestly, I wasn't really trying too hard to impress her because, again, I didn't have any intentions of...
She didn't know that Brendan was a stellar guy who can clean your apartment for
Exactly.
3 hours top.
Exactly. But, so, he does that, and I'm like, okay, we got to get him back to the couch. So she picks him up, and I pull his pants up, and we carry him over to the couch. Keep in mind, he's a very small dude, so it wasn't that hard. We get him back on the couch, and then we lay there, and then, you know, I was pretty drunk at this point. Honestly, more than she was. Not nearly as drunk as Brendan was.
No fucking shit.
And I'm laying next to her, and we start feeling each other up or whatnot. And for some reason, it didn't really click in my brain that it was her intention to get it on the whole time. So, that being said, when that finally clicked, I was like, you know what, fuck it. So, we ended up going to town. It was a great time. Let me tell you, it looked about as good without clothes on as it did with clothes on. And it was a great time. And then eventually I rolled over on my back. She started dick. And then Brendan, it's very dark in the room. So like, and I didn't really care that much because realistically I knew if he like saw it, he would just pretend that he was sleeping because he knew originally like that he was going to have to be the wingman, and I would have done the same thing for him. So, but instead of just waking up and noticing and then not saying anything, he was completely incoherent, and he stands up in the middle of the room, and I'm laying there on my back getting the life sucked out of me, and I see the silhouette of Brendan stand up in my corner, and he walks over to the bed, and he sits down on the bed while I'm getting my sucked. And she still has no idea that he... And then eventually, I was like, listen, you gotta stop, because Brendan's sitting at the edge of the bed right now. And then she turns around, and he's just sitting there. He's just sitting there. And he eventually gets up and then stumbles down the stairs. But then the next day, he was downstairs with his pants off. There's a chance he pissed on my bathroom floor. There's a chance. There was a liquid on my bathroom floor.
It's urine.
Probably.
Guaranteed.
Probably. So, anyways, that happened, and we actually worked together the next day. So, you know, we spent the whole day acting like we didn't have sex the night before because we stayed up really fucking late, and we both were not doing too hot at work. So it was pretty obvious, but, you know, we had to be all nonchalant about it and whatever. So then I'm like, you know, that was a good time. I had a good time. But the problem is, I think she had a little bit too much of a good time, because I was like, you know, this is cool. Like, I like hanging out with her. I like getting it on with her. Let's leave it at that. And so then I want to say maybe a couple nights after that, she asked if I wanted to come over. I came over. Same thing, except, you know, afterwards, it got a little too close because, you know, she wanted to be, like, right next to me. And first of all, I'm a very picky sleeper. It's got to be cold as fuck. I don't want to, like, stick to somebody while I'm sleeping. And apparently she did, and I was like, you know, maybe she's just one of those people. Like after you have sex with somebody, you want a little bit of affection, whatever.
Those people.
One of those people. You know, I mean, I'm like, I see, like, I didn't think it was that bad. Whatever. So,
I guess I'm not seeing the problem in any of this yet.
well, the thing is, I really wanted to like continue hooking up with her, but I didn't want to do anything more than that. Like I didn't want to have a relationship with her.
Okay, great. So what's the problem?
She started coming into work when she didn't work to sit there and talk to me, which again, I'm like, I'm fine with that because we're friends or whatever. But then one night, I actually had plans to go to the gym in the morning after, and I had a whole bunch of shit to do that day. And so I was like, I cannot wait to go home and sleep in my own bed by myself. And she came and she was like, hey, you want to go get Taco Bell? And I was like, fuck, I do like Taco Bell. So I decided to go get Taco Bell with her. And then I was like, okay, yep, I'm going home now. Because realistically, yeah, sure, I would have had sex. But I was like, I just want to be in my bed alone. Like, I just want to go to fucking sleep. But she was like,
she gets down like that and she loves Taco Bell. What is the problem?
I'm just not into it. Okay, so here. I did skip a part. You're right. Back it up. This was the last time we had sex. There was another time in between that. So now that would have been the fourth. Let's go back to the third. I just one night I was like, hey, you want to come over? Whatever. And I had a great time again. Like, let me tell you, she is definitely a performer in the bedroom. But immediately after, the post-nut clarity does not lie. It never lies. And after that, I was laying there and I was just like, dude, I really wish that I could just tell her to get the fuck out of my house. But I know I can't because one, I'm friends with her, and two, like that would just be such a dick thing to do. And I was like, I just want to sit here and watch TV and then go to bed. And then she got really close to me. She started like caressing me and shit and like kissing my neck and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck. And then the next morning, she was cuddling with me in the morning, which was too much for me. And then she followed that up with dick in the morning, which again, like that was fucking great. But I was like, these are things that you can't, like, I don't know. How can you just hook up with somebody and then like just fucking wake up and cut? Like, I feel like that's a like some relationship shit. But again, I'm not going to question that. Post-nut clarity hit again, and she was very adamant about being like right up next to me and shit like that. So I decided I should probably say something about it. I told her, well, I was like, okay, so are you okay with what we got going on, or are you going to want more from me? And keep in mind, if it was some random chick, I might have just kept going until it was too far and then like not talk to her. But I do work with her every single day. So it makes it a little difficult to do something like that. And she was very upset. She like composed herself and whatnot. And then I basically just told her, I was like, I do not want to do anything more. And as soon as she started talking about like hanging out with my friends and shit like that and like meeting them, I was like, so that being said, I continued talking to her, but I feel like the more I talk to her, the more she keeps on trying to like make it more than just us hooking up.
Okay.
And I don't really know where to go from there.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there's a lot to unpack here. Number one, you got to realize you got a good thing working here, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Priority one is to maintain the ability to smash that shit whenever you want to.
Okay.
That is the first priority. Don't fuck that up. Beyond that, there's nothing to worry about. She can push for a relationship all she wants. It's only a relationship if you agree to it.
See,
but when you tried the alternative method of rolling over and turning on SpongeBob and going to sleep. That didn't work.
Exactly. Like, I try to throw in a little bit of being an asshole because,
Do that. You're gonna wreck it. You're gonna wreck it. Oh my God, you're gonna wreck it.
but only to a certain extent. So like, instead of like cuddling and talking about shit, I decide that I want to watch King of the Hill.
Okay,
and then
that's cool.
Yeah, go to bed after
So
that.
watch King of the Hill.
But see, when she starts saying, "Hey, like, do you want to go do this and do you want to go do that?" and I definitely
You
don't
say
want
no.
that. Well, the other thing is, I don't really know the degree of things you're allowed to do with somebody you're just hooking up with
All right,
until you come off as being a dick.
Let's role play this.
Okay.
I'll be you, Brian, and you be Melissa, and we'll go over what's going on in your head and then what you actually say out loud. Okay, you bring up some relationship shit and ask if I want to do that.
Do I have to do a voice too?
No, just be Melissa. Well, if you can. Be Melissa and ask about some relationship. Do I want to do whatever?
Well, see, she doesn't ask about doing relationship things. She just kind of pushes it because, she's that type of person.
Okay, push it. Give an example.
So, when you get it on with somebody or whatever.
You don't know how to role play, do you?
No, say it as her. Give an example of what she was doing to push.
But again, we don't really talk about things.
No. Just use the words that she used that were her pushing some relationship stuff on you.
Nothing. She didn't push
You
anything.
want to get Taco Bell?
You want to get Taco Bell?
You want to come over if your power's out?
Oh, you want to come over? Oh,
No! That's what
oh.
you're thinking. But in your mind, that's what you're thinking. But
Yeah.
out loud, you say, no.
But
That's it.
the problem is I have a tendency to say yes. And the problem is because I say, there's probably going to be ass involved. And as anybody who has more than 2 brain cells, of course they're going to take the opportunity if there's ass involved. But then they end up laying next to you and stroking you and shit. And you're like, damn, am I going to be the asshole and tell her to get the fuck off of me after she just fucking for 45 minutes? And...
No. You continue watching King of the Hill.
Okay.
Let her stroke your hair. Who gives a shit?
Okay.
Just watch King of the Hill.
So then how would...
Listen, does the farmer enjoy the delicious bounty by just walking out there and plucking the bounty, or did he have to put work in at the beginning of the season? Till the fields and plant the seed and water the fucking thing and fertilize and dethatch it and then harvest at the end of the season. You gotta fucking harvest your crops before you can fucking harvest.
So...
Don't go out and set fire to your fucking cornfield because it's a pain in the ass to till and plow.
That being said, I have a real hard time setting the boundary of, because again, obviously we don't want to shut down the whole operation,
Clearly.
obviously, but we also don't want to go to Taco Bell and stay up until 2 a.m. and fucking be next to her when you want to go to the gym in the morning.
Just get up and go.
But couldn't you just get up and go to the gym?
Or you just go to Taco Bell and get a blowjob in the car and then go home without her.
See, I really thought I was going to get out of that situation too, because I didn't want her to come over that night. And so my way of saying that is I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home. And then she's like, no, you don't have to go home. And I was like, nope, I got to wake up.
No,
and,
I want to go home.
and then she was like, do you though? And I said, here's what I said. I said, because she really likes sleeping in. So I thought that would get me out of the situation. I go, yeah, I know you don't want to wake up at 7 a.m. So like, yeah, maybe like some other time. She's like, no, I can do that. And then she came over anyways.
And you smashed that ass,
I did.
and you were still able to get up and go to the gym in the morning.
I did.
So what's the problem? Why are you trying to sabotage this? Jesus Christ, just enjoy it for what it is. Just watch out in case she fakes a pregnancy,
See,
because chicks can do that sometimes.
Well,
But-
it's easy to
And that
fake
will
a
fuck your
pregnancy
shit
when
up.
You didn't use a fucking condom.
oh yeah, I forgot to mention that part.
And you work together, so she already knows your real name.
She does. I can't. But see, that's the problem is that we
That is
work
the
together.
problem.
And she has gradually
House, too.
made it more. She knows where I live. She.
So you should have come to me for advice at the beginning of all
I
this.
know, right?
I would have set you up with an alias.
But she keeps on like progressively letting it be more and more known that we hang out outside of work.
Great. Let it be known. Who cares? It's not a relationship until you agree that it is.
Okay.
And if some hotter piece of tail comes along, there's nothing to stop you from smashing that too.
Okay, that is fair.
Until then, be grateful for this.
And use a rubber so you don't get stuck with this girl you don't know you want to.
See, I honestly feel like on that one I'm gonna trust the pull-out method and maybe birth control. But beyond that, I would like to think that I'm just gonna try to keep it going as long as I can.
Great.
And then maybe when I switch professions, then never talk to her again. Maybe
Whatever.
change phone numbers or something like that.
I won't come to that. She'll get the hint. Once you start plowing some other tail, she'll understand.
See,
Let's go with the closing thoughts, Mike.
Closing thoughts.
All right.
Sometimes it's tough to see the forest for the trees. It's tough to appreciate what you got while you're getting it. Because I'll tell you now, if she cut off access to that punani, man, it would be the suckiest shit to happen in your young life. So for now, enjoy what you got and don't look for problems where there aren't any. Everything you've described so far is fucking awesome. And nothing more than a minor inconvenience for a great payoff. Right? Her staying over doesn't prevent you from watching King of the Hill and getting up to go to the gym in the morning. It might make her mad that, oh, why didn't he stay with me in the morning? Who gives a fuck about that? Just go do your thing. That's all you got to worry about, Holmes. Enjoy life and do your shit. And if it blows up in your face, women are pleasant things, but ultimately irrational, emotional creatures not worthy of our esteem and respect, and easily replaceable.
so that being said, I'll make plans to hang out with her again this week.
Sounds great. Problem solved. The doctor is out.
Can Mike take Brendan's place this time?
Well done, sir.
Glad I could help the youth. Click subscribe. Oh, fuck.
God.
You better do it.